Recording started.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Rena Petrello. I teach mathematics at Moore Park Community College. I taught at Oxnard College before that. I've been teaching online for 6 years now, online and hybrid classes as well as traditional courses. I've learned a lot over the course of that time, and that learning process was closely related to some work that I have been doing for Cengage Learning, where I've made a whole host of instructional videos for 4 levels of mathematics. So I'm going to teach you a lot about what I've learned in a skeletal way. The very next session at 2:15, I'll be, unfortunately it's in another room, so we're going to have to move if you want to hear more about it. But I'm going to go into much more detail about making your own instructional videos if you see that's something of value to you. So let's just begin by talking about, oops, let's see, how do I advance? There we go. Please. Oh, here we go. What are the components of a successful hybrid and or online math course? So as I was talking, first we have video instruction. When you're teaching an online or a hybrid class, what I learned at the very beginning, 10 years ago really, I wanted, it's all right, come on in. I wanted to teach online. I really, really wanted to, but the technology wasn't there yet. You know, all the online courses up until that point were all text-based. So students were learning the mathematics by reading text that, you know, instructors had put on on the internet. So I just didn't think that was as effective of a way to learn the mathematics as it would be if they had a demonstration of the math. So then I learned about CCC Confer from a colleague of mine, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute. You can have interactive whiteboard discussions with your students, and I'll demonstrate that, where with a pen mouse, a tablet here, you can write, and in digital ink, it writes on the screen. So I thought, oh, okay, so maybe there can be distance between me and my students. They don't have to see the whites of my eyes. I can still be effective. They'll hear my voice through CCC Confer. They'll see my writing. It's as if we're all in the same virtual classroom. So that was exciting. Then I attended a conference years ago, and I remember that a couple years later, a demonstration I saw about someone who basically recorded what happened on the computer screen. This is a screen recording or a screen capture. And the demonstration was actually by Mimeo, which I will show you soon. And Mimeo basically had a whiteboard. You can write on it, you could put images on it, you could talk, and you were able to record everything that was said and demonstrated. So I thought all these components, all of this technology was finally coming together. So then I started one semester where I wanted to teach an elementary algebra class hybrid, and it was kind of probably not the legal way to do it. My dean said do it, and but it wasn't listed officially in the scheduled classes. Of course, there's a lot more protocol now that we have to do in order to make it a hybrid class, but there was no curriculum change or anything. And what we did was I let 5 or maybe 6 classes throughout the semester be the hybrid days or the online days, where students, instead of coming to class, they watched my lectures, which I had posted online, and then they would do their homework and come back the next day and present the homework and questions. And I was a little scared because one of those days was a word problem day. And I thought for sure, you know, I have to hold their hand. It's word problems. They have to see me. I have to like jump up and down for them to understand what I'm doing, you know. But it turned out that was the first semester I had the best results on word problems in the previous, 8 years before that. So lots of A's and B's on that test. So I asked them when I passed back the test, I said, you know, what's different? That you guys did so great, what's different? They said, your videos, I got to watch and rewatch the videos. Okay. So at the time, so this was 6 years ago, there were a handful of publishers that actually had video content. I was dissatisfied by them, because they were made perhaps a decade before, not with the intention of being the primary content for an online student. Online wasn't really relevant or even a thought 10 years before. They were really more made as a supplement to the textbook, which is great, and they were great, but they were too fast and they weren't complete. So that's why I decided I need to start making my own videos. And the first round of videos I made very homegrown, no editing, all the ums and the mess-ups remained. You know, I corrected it on video, and I put it online, and students were fine with that. I mean, that's what we do in class. We mess up, we find our mistake, and we go on. So, and then I aligned myself with Cengage, and we made some more professional quality videos with no ums and no mistakes, and mathematician approved and all of that, edited. So I was able to do that. So now you're in a position where you say, okay, if I want to teach online or hybrid, what would I need? Well, first, you would need to find videos that you like, and they're getting better out there. And may I just say, I've already been paid for my videos, so me telling you about my videos is of no benefit to me. I'm really proud of them, and I think perhaps you might want to take a look at them. I'll show you a bit of a sample. Again, this is through Cengage Learning. Oh gosh, did I close it out? Here we go. Brooks Cole, Cengage. So you can see, let me just start from the beginning.
I first started creating math videos to meet my own students' needs while teaching online math courses at Moorpark College. These video lessons are designed to address nearly every learning objective from every section of each chapter of the text in a current and relevant way. A student might use these 10 to 20-minute videos to get extra help with a single concept or a single learning objective. Or an online student could watch all of the learning objectives offered in each section using the videos as their primary content while taking their online math course. I've received quite a bit of feedback about my videos.
I'm going to fast forward through some of this and get to where there would be a screen capture. What we did, obviously, they have a budget, so they aligned me with a production company, and that we did on-camera footage. But the on-camera footage was only about 10% of the overall video. The on-camera stuff motivated what happened in the screen captures. And I want to show you about the screen captures. So just briefly here.
Before I work it out for you. That was very helpful.
Okay, so I just demonstrate, I said these words, the length is 10 more than.
Your dimensions. Now I'm going to describe my horizontal distance as the length.
Hopefully you'll get a sense of how to do this today yourself.
And my vertical distance is called the width.
So you get the idea. I'm talking and writing at the same time.
I'm going to label each of these sides with the
and you can type whatever you like. You can add images. I found it very helpful to put images of graph paper and then draw on the graph paper, which is really great. So I don't want to get into too much detail there, but if you do want...
You did this with screen capture?
I used, basically what you need is some software that you can write on. Okay, you can't always write in every program. When you go on the internet, you can't write on a web page, right? So you need a program that's like a notebook. And if you go to my next session, I'll tell you about all the free things that are out there that you could use as that. There's also recording software that's free. There's also editing software that's free. But the one thing you absolutely need is something to write with, the notebook, and then you need the ability to record, edit, and then produce for the internet. And even though there are free options for that part out there, I've used Camtasia because it's all in one, and it's very user-friendly. So I'll give you a demonstration of that later, but I think I'm getting too detailed before we get to that. So I'm going to pull back a little bit. All right. So there are other companies out there. I know Elaine Martin-Gay through Pearson has some good videos. I think she just recently updated them, so they're a little bit more with the mindset of the online student. I know that you'll just have to ask your rep because more and more instructional videos are becoming the norm. And why would you want to make your own videos? Perhaps it's test day in a week, and you want to, I don't know, post something about a commonly asked question, a word problem that everyone gets stuck with. You know, you could be answering questions in a homework forum, and you can just post a video to answer it. So that's a big component, video instruction. If that replaces you as the lecturer in class, and for some reason I can't advance to the next stage. What is happening? Say that again. Oh, thank you. That must not be what I need to look at. Okay. There we go. Okay, so there's video. So the students basically will learn by video. And then there's homework. I really like my students to do homework on paper, like the traditional classroom. I like to see their work. There is a tendency for students in a, online quiz forum or homework system for them to just satisfy the requirements of the testing system, right? And I really, they could get the right answer, but the part of the process is showing the work. So I'm quite traditional in that when I see them, I have them turn in homework on paper. But I also assign weekly quizzes. Depending on the class, it could be anywhere between 6 and 20 questions. I call it a quiz, so they take it seriously, but it's really just more homework because I know they have access to the book, they have access to a calculator, even if I don't allow it, But it is a graded assignment. So basically, I mainly use the online portion for quizzes. Now, what is the online portion? Each publishing company, as you know, has resources. My Math Lab is a great one. They probably have the corner on the market. They have a lot of money invested, and they do have the best software. However, I've made WebAssign work for what I need. I'm happy with what I have there.
Why would you choose one versus the other?
Oh, it all depends on what textbook you choose. So, if you're using a Pearson author, then you got to use my Math Lab, right? And if you use a Cengage author, then you'll use WebAssign or whatever else is out there. Those two seem to be the best, but I would say, and don't tell my publisher this, but I think Pearson has the best. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, so I had a lot of technological problems yesterday. I actually had just replaced my hard drive, and so when I got here, I've given this presentation before. I just thought I'd change the background, everything would be okay. But then it was starting to ask me, every time I went to Word or PowerPoint, it was asking me for my site license key and all this stuff, and I didn't have it. So I don't have anything to give you today, but I would like to email it to you if you wouldn't mind giving me your email address, and I'd be happy to send you the PowerPoint presentation. I'll give you a sample syllabus for my online and hybrid course, and you can steal as much of it if you like. You can keep the same language if you like. However, whatever you want to do, I want to save you the trouble of having to build it from scratch. My syllabus is 13 pages long. Didn't go, whoa, this is long. Why? It includes the traditional syllabus, the information, which is about 4 pages long. And then there's the homework assignments. They get all the homework assignments at the beginning of class. They get a calendar of due dates. So there's no question. There's some due dates on the homework assignment sheet. There's due dates in the calendar. And you got to double check, make sure that all those dates coincide, because that really helps the student. But everything the student needs to know is given on the first day of class. So thank you so much. So please send me your email address, and I would be happy to send you whatever I have. And feel free to ask me questions in return. I'm sorry? Sorry, a paper's going around. Thank you, Donna, for doing that. And then those people online who would like me to send information, perhaps you can collect that. Thank you. Okay. All right, I think before I talk about the equipment, I do want to just talk more about the general hybrid or online class. I will tell you from my experience that students are retained better in a hybrid class. I'll say that again. Compared to an online class. Thank you. Right. Online students, my setup was, my department said, yes, you can teach online, we like that, but we want you to see them on test day and have them show you picture ID. Okay, that's fine, even though we don't do that for traditional students, so we don't have them show us picture ID. But that was fine. So basically there were 4 tests and 1 final, and that was the only time I saw them. Okay, we met in CCC Confer, or actually I used Wimba at the time. Our college is going back to CCC Confer for a virtual classroom. That was where I had my online office hours. My district allows for up to 2 of my 5 weekly office hours to be online in a virtual classroom, 2 out of the 5. So I actually held my office hours at home 2 hours a week, which was really nice. Students did attend. They attended better on Sunday evenings than Wednesday at noon. Sunday evening, weekends were great, especially Sunday evenings. I also held study sessions just prior to the exam. So I go back into that virtual classroom, and let me show you what the virtual classroom looks like. In fact, we have people online right now in a virtual classroom, CCC Confer. And they've been viewing everything I'm doing on the screen. So you can see, and unfortunately because I'm attached to a presenter, it squishes all my windows, but you can see we have people here, moderator, a captioner, a couple of instructors. So if they had a microphone or if they called in through, a normal telephone, there's a telephone number they can call, I could hear their voice. They're hearing my voice right now. It's being recorded, actually. Donna pressed a button that said archive. So the students who couldn't make this session and the instructors, will be able to view this later. Okay? So what I would do is I would, over here, where the whiteboard is, I'd say, okay, do you have any questions? Oftentimes I'll hand out an old test, I say in quotes, that they can work on prior to an exam. And if they have any questions about it, they can ask me during the session prior to the test. And so I will say, oh, you have a question with 7E? Okay, and what is it? It'll say solve, x minus 7 equals 12. I don't know. I'm just making this up, right? Oops. This is a new mouse because I forgot that at home. I bought it yesterday. I'm getting used to this one. This is bamboo. It's pretty nice, by the way. It's about $100. It's Wacom. No, this is the device I use to draw. To record the ink, you need a software program. This is the device you use to write. It's a pen mouse. This is called Bamboo by Wacom, W-A-C-O-M. You can get larger tablets, which you might be more comfortable with for more writing space, and they're closer to about $279, maybe $300. This one was about $100. It was like $98.50 or something at Apple Store. So you can see how advantageous this is, because all my students would be hearing me, they'd see me writing, and I could change colors to emphasize each step, and and here we go. So this is really nice. The other thing too is you can, so that software I was telling you about is much like what CCC Confer is doing for me right now. They really are.
The Elluminate or the collaborator.
Yep. That's right.
There's no other software going on right now. You just have
Nope.
your pen mouse and your
And
collaborate and you're good.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
It has to be an Apple thing.
No, not at all.
Thank
Yeah, you just need a pen mouse. I'm just repeating for those people online. You just need a pen mouse and log into CCC Confer. Yep. You can also drag images in here. Excuse me. Let's see. I'm going to drag, sorry. All my windows are squished, but you can drag images in here. You know.
Drag and drop.
Drag and drop. You don't have to import anything. It's really nice. That part is nicer than Wimba. Yeah, I just had it. You can see over here I had a bunch of images. You know, if I'm demonstrating 3D graphing. Oops. Oh. How nice, right? And then you can start drawing right on top. Whatever you want to do. So the technology is there, folks. You can really teach math online. It's great. Okay, I'm going to shrink this down. So we were talking about the equipment now. So you saw the tablet. You could use a tablet PC. You remember the tablet PCs? I don't know. I don't see them that much anymore. It's very much like an iPad in that you've got the computer screen and you can rotate the screen so you can write right on top. All of our publisher representatives have them when they come to our office, right? So every tablet PC will have writing software, so you can do that as well. Okay. So you need software that acts. So again, okay, I don't mean to confuse you. Now we're out of the virtual classroom. If you wanted to make your own videos, you would need software that acts like paper. And so I wanted to show you an example of that, which I downloaded for free. It's called Mimeo Notebook. It's actually this is a free trial, yet they never tell me when the expiration date is. So, and I've been using it for a long time. So, you can see there's a panel here. Let me take it out of my dock there. There's a panel, and so now we're not in CCC Confer anymore. We're just literally in this notebook. If I were to record this, I'd open up Camtasia or some other recording software, and I would choose the recording space. There's some preset regions. You can do the iPod region, the YouTube region, the web region, whatever. I'll just say iPod for now. And then press record, but I'm going to shift it to where I want it to be. I actually would recommend a larger screen than 320 by 240. Give yourself more room to write. And then you press record, and it will, in a few seconds, record everything that occurs in the box. So you know, I'm just going to scribble something so you see the after effect. Oops. And then we'll stop the recording, except the tool that stops it is not here. Where are you? Camtasia? I really want to stop this, but I don't remember what it is. Oh.
And what again did Vimeo Notebook choose you?
Excuse me, that was for my playlist. Mimeo Notebook gave me the paper. Just a second. I'm looking for Camtasia so I can turn this off, and it won't. I don't know where it is. You know, when you connect to an overhead projector, everything gets squished, and you lose icons up here that are normally up here. So how do I stop that? Goodness. There we go. File. Thank you so much. Okay. So we'll have a lot to edit out of that one. The nice thing about Camtasia, oh, nice. Cannot process the recording. Please try the recording again. Great. So what would have happened is the recording would drop right into a timeline and we can start editing. So I'll just do a quick one real fast. Everything's wonky now. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Perhaps I will close out of Camtasia and try that again. Okay, here we go. I wanted to show you how easy it is, but now I'm just confusing you all. Okay. Oh, good. Awesome. Okay. Oops, continue trial. So that was another thing I needed to do last night. My Camtasia wasn't on this computer, so I downloaded a free trial. And if you follow me to the next session, and you have devices that you can download Camtasia to, you could do that today and have 30 days to play, which is great. So anyway, so here we go. Record. It remembers the last place that you were recording, which is nice. You don't have to reposition. So I'm just going to do something to show that we've recorded it. And now, on
F10 key on your keyboard, Betty, so that will stop it.
F10? Yes, I do, but I think I was just able to stop it. There we go. All right. So the nice thing now, let's try and shrink this so you can all see what's happening down below. Close out of menu. Okay, so this is Camtasia, and Camtasia basically is where we would edit the video. Like I said, you don't have to edit anything at all. Okay, you can just produce this, upload it to the web, but you can see.
So I'm just going to do something.
It looks just the way you saw it when I was using it in the first place, which is really nice. So I want to show you how easy it is to edit. You literally press Shift and drag a region. Say you didn't want what happened during this region. It's all highlighted on the timeline down below. You can see the rise and fall of where my voice, where I was talking. And then you can just click Delete and move the rest over, and you're done. So now you have your, your edited video, easy peasy. And then what happens is, right now it's a proprietary file, it's a Camtasia file. So we need to produce it into a file that everyone can read, which would be MOV or MP4. But don't worry too much about it because it just says share. Just say export and then call it something. So OTC, say. And you can adjust the quality. Medium is just fine. And it'll automatically export it as, I believe it's MP4. Okay, done. So we'll reveal it in the Finder. Here it is. Oh, MP4. Let's play it. There it is. It's a little bit fuzzier now because I let the quality be on medium, but if you want it more crisp, you'd put it all the way to the end. This is a new version.
No proj, no rut.
Oh, yeah. Before I exported it, it was a CamRec or some, yeah. Yes, CamProj,
But it
yeah.
just automatically did that itself?
When I said share, when I clicked on this button here, share, and export, it exported it automatically into an MP4. Uh-huh.
So it's a new version.
This is the Mac version. It's also Camtasia 2, which is brand new version of Camtasia on the Mac. Yeah, and then there's Camtasia 8, I think, for the PC, which I've actually used more. And it actually has more features than the one on the Mac. In fact, if you downloaded Camtasia for PC, it will have a very different interface. It won't look the same, but it will have a lot more features than the Mac version. So that's why it's more expensive too. I think it's about almost $200 for the PC version. I could be wrong. That might be a little low.
Educational pricing?
There probably is an educational price for that. I think so. And the Mac version is less than $150. So, okay. So anyway, that's all I really want to say about it. I don't want to overwhelm you with video stuff because if you don't want to make anything, you don't have to if you're creating a hybrid course. You could just use publisher-ready content. All right. So,
Question.
Yeah.
So if you were doing online office hours, you wouldn't be using Camtasia at all. That would just be use your pen.
Right.
You would write on the whiteboard in CCC Confer.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm using a whiteboard in two different settings. As you said, in CCC Confer, in my virtual classroom, meeting with my students one-on-one. Then I make instructional videos. They're not present. You know, they're not anywhere near me when I'm making these videos. And then I have those videos for now and forevermore, you know, and I'll post them. Now, where do I post them? I post them, I can send them an email with that if it's not too big of a file. But that gets hard if it's too big of a file. Sorry, the microphone's here. I got to get closer. I'll post it into, you know, do you have Blackboard? What do you use? Moodle? Desire to Learn? You can post it there. So let me show you my online course. We use Desire to Learn at Moorpark College in Ventura County Community College District. And basically, I've set up a content browser with divided into weeks here. Let's see. Am I in the right class? Oh, sorry. I wanted to show you my other class. I might have to re-log in. Yeah.
What you guys
Desire to Learn, yes. Timed out. Yeah, it's like we used Blackboard before. It's not as robust as Blackboard, and it's much cheaper, is my understanding, which is why we went with it. And our technical people wanted more control of the back end, and we were able to have that more with Desire to Learn than Blackboard. Think of it as Blackboard. Yeah, same thing, file structure and all that stuff. Desire to Learn? Oh, yeah, Moodle is open source. Yeah, that's completely free. That's right. Yeah, our tech people were not. So, okay, so I have a content browser. I've got everything arranged in terms of section number. So within, for example, section 1.2, I have all these little videos. I make videos anywhere between 3 and 12 minutes long. So I don't know, I'll just pick, this is a pre-algebra course. And the students would watch each one, start with the top one, and then navigate to press this arrow here, and they get to the next page, which would contain another video. And they click that again, and they get another video. Okay, so because, again, I'm using the overhead projector, we're not going to see the full video very well. I'll undock it so you can see. Yes, Donna? Oh, yes, go ahead.
From Betty, her father in Long Beach, who wants to know how many times and for how long do you meet with your students online each week?
Okay, yeah, so I'll pause that. For an online class, as I was saying before, I would only meet them on test day. So I was basically once a month. I used to have an orientation day, but then I started to use Wimba or CCC Confer for my orientation as well. So I didn't meet them at the beginning of class. My first meeting would be on the first test day a month into class. And then I'd have 3 more tests, so a total of 4 tests and a final, and that would be it. I'd see them 5 times face-to-face. For a hybrid class, which again I think is probably a better scenario, either for a 3-unit class, I did an hour and a half, that's one day, in class, and the other hour and a half is offline, or online, okay, watching videos instead of doing a lecture for them. For a 5-unit class, at first I did 2.5 and 2.5, but I really found that they were doing better with the videos, and I was spending a lot of time answering homework questions, but, sorry, I don't mean to say it this way. I switched it to 2 hours in class and 3 hours online. I wanted to make sure they had more time to watch the videos. My in-class time ended up being answering homework questions for the first hour, maybe a little longer than that, and the second hour was teaching them a new topic. So basically ended up being 4 topics a week. 1 topic was taught in class, plus homework questions were answered, and then 3 other topics were learned by video at home. What I was just about to show you was a video of my pre-algebra class. Those are all videos I've made that the students didn't have to go to the publisher's website to get or use a DVD to see. In my other class, in my elementary algebra class, they actually were given DVDs with their textbooks. And they have access to those videos now through WebAssign. So they could watch the videos on DVD, or they can watch the videos through WebAssign online. Okay.
He has
Yes.
one more question.
Mm-hmm.
What was the success rate of your last online and hybrid class?
Okay, so it's pretty comparable to, the success rate is pretty comparable to the standard population. Two more comments to say about that. The attrition rate is not as good as the general population. Okay, so even though the success rate is better, less students are, in the end, completing the course because of the attrition rate. But the other thing I wanted to say was we had done a study of all those students taking elementary algebra and intermediate algebra in a hybrid or online way, and we compared their success rate in the next course, and their success rate was 7% greater than the general population. So those students actually did well. Could be just that's the type of student, you know. Those students are self-selecting as an online student. Perhaps they know about themselves that they are more motivated and they can be disciplined and all of that. So I don't know what to conclude, but there is a population of students that are really liking this a lot. Yeah.
So when we say the success rate is the same.
That's the pass rate in the subsequent course.
No. The first statement that you made, the success rate is about the same as the general population.
Mm-hmm.
The numerator is the people who passed, and your denominator is the people who took the final. So
correct.
The people who were in classes then.
Let's see. So the people. Good question. So right. So all the people who had dropped out of the picture, the people who passed, out of the people who took the final, that is greater than the general population.
Okay.
But
so you
I lost them earlier. Exactly. I lost them earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Well said. Okay. So anyway, I don't need to show you another video, but the idea though is that it's kind of like if you do embed your own videos, it's kind of like putting the videos here, and they once they're done with this page of video, they turn the page to the next page. They'll click on the arrow, and that'll get them to the next video. And, you know, there's some buffering time and all that good stuff.
The following list will help you understand.
Okay. So, but of course, this looks like, publisher content because I didn't do anything on camera all by myself. Okay. Some other things that you want to think about as you're building your course. That you might want to consider a discussion forum. It might even be required at your school to have a discussion forum. I've laxed up on this. At the very beginning, when it was all online, I absolutely required, and by the way, I'm teaching hybrid courses now. I'm happier that way, happier than online, because teaching online, you know, you do lose a lot more students, and I feel a stronger connection with my students, and they're, I think, more disciplined. The discussion forum was required. They had to post a total of 8 postings per chapter, and there's 9 chapters. That could be 4 questions and 4 responses. It could be all 8 questions. It could be 1 and 7. It doesn't matter as long as they post 8. They have to be thoughtful and relevant responses. They don't necessarily have to be correct, okay? But they're participating with one another, and it gives that nice community. And I had one student who told me that she came to my office and she said, you know, for the last 6 years of my education, my mom has paid for a tutor for me for math. And she asked me the other day, why didn't we get a tutor for you? And how come you're doing so well? She said because of this discussion forum, because she's been so actively posting. At that point, I actually had 2 classes merged into this online shell, so there were 80 students in there. She said within 2 hours her question was answered. Yes?
I've had lots of discussions in my math speech. So
yeah, you got to...
First of all, symbols.
Yes.
So part of my problem is students posting questions and math symbols. How do they do that?
Yes.
And do you get involved in the discussion, or do you just say post question? You can either post questions and have your peers answer it. That's
yes.
where all my confusion comes.
Okay. So yeah. So first of all, symbols. There is an equation editor within WebAssign. There is an equation editor within Blackboard. So much like Microsoft Word, you click on the button and you can have fractions and all kinds of, symbols that you need, square roots and all that good stuff. In the discussion forum and in emails as well. So that's good. I don't participate very much in the discussion forums. With 80 students in one room, it's a lot. Yeah. Well, that's when I joined 2 classes into one shell. My thinking is, if I'm going to upload an announcement or a video or whatever, I don't want to have to do it twice. It's the same course. So that made it easier for me. However, I will target news to, this is only one class, but in my elementary algebra class last semester, I actually had 3 courses logged into one shell. And so I will post news items, but target them only to the specific classes because they have different due dates than my other classes. So you have to be careful about that.
How do you monitor what they post? If somebody posts something wrong, aren't you constantly reading?
I go in there occasionally, but sorry, I thought that was my speaker going on. No, I let my online office hours, my online study sessions be the time when they're really interacting with me. I used to go in there more at the beginning, but I found that other students weren't participating. So I really wanted that to be something that they would do with each other. Students would still email me personal questions and I would reply. If I would scan over this is a gray area for me, to be honest. I have not ever felt comfortable with this discussion piece.
I haven't either, because I'm afraid of what I'm going to post.
Yeah, the good thing though, there are other students reading and they do disagree, but not every question gets answered, which is a problem. So, yeah, it's a dilemma.
I'm teaching a class. Rena was nice enough to help me out. But mine not so mine is very much like
we just met personally today, but we talked a long time ago.
I did get really involved in the discussions, but my criteria was if it hadn't been answered in 1 or 2 days, then I would answer the question. But I
like that.
Now if it would have been. I might try another try where I don't do any postings and see that. If the students become more active, if they know I'm not there, I wonder about that.
Yes.
So you have to put your questions. When I have students say, "Well, I didn't have questions,"
right? Then they need
someone else's question.
Yeah, they need to post answers.
And then they say, "Well, I didn't know how to answer that." So is there a certain choice? I will do a post. Well, you can say, I told them they can post comments about here. Something I found especially difficult. I don't have a question about it, but here's the problem. I found it difficult. Here's how I solved it. Something like that.
Right. Very good.
Did you do for each chapter? They had a requirement of so many postings per chapter, and it required 6 points. I did. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I feel like
I was online a lot.
Yeah.
There's a very easy way in Moodle to do that. I can click right there and give them credit. It's a Moodle count.
Yeah. Blackboard does. Actually, most of them do have a way of counting the number of responses and stuff. I think Blackboard seems to be pretty robust in that. No. But I will say when I decided to go hybrid and still made that requirement for them to post, they got real frustrated. They're like, I get all my questions answered in class, and then I feel like I need to make up questions just to earn the points. So I was like, oh, what do I do? So basically, I kept the discussion forum for all this. This is the last semester. All 3 classes were logged into one, and I said, you know what? This is completely for you, and I'm not giving points. And students still participated, not as much as they would have had I carroted them with some points, but they were helping each other. See what she said. So, so here we go. And somebody responded really thoroughly. right?
Oh, and they type that all with the equation editor.
Mm-hmm. That's with the equation editor. Oh, actually, it may have just been all of the typewriter keys. Typewriter keys, assuming. Yeah.
This may be old territory, but have you run into problems where, I'll have a particularly outgoing student who really doesn't have a very strong hand, and it's sort of like, follow me. Find somebody really giving bad guidance.
Right.
That's an issue.
I think that's going to be an issue in any online class. Whether they're right or wrong, you're going to have dominating students who answers everyone's questions. Right? Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't had much experience having to do that, but I would say probably intervene somehow, send a personal message to save face. But okay, let's see, what else should I tell you? Students also really like to have their grades all throughout the course, and maybe that's just too much hand-holding, but especially in an online course or a hybrid course, it really helps them know where they're standing. So if this is the first semester I didn't use the Desire to Learn grades because I found an app on my iPad, which is pretty good, and it emails. You can get all of their information, their student ID, their email address, and everything by downloading it through whatever system you have at your school, like however you download rosters, okay, whatever that system is, you can import that into Dropbox, and then from Dropbox it goes into this grading software. And so everything's all inputted for you, and then you just create your categories. You can do by points or by weight. And it was pretty easy to use. And it was called Gradebook Pro, in case you're interested. There is something called Easy Gradebook Pro, but do not buy that one. That was a mistake on my part. Gradebook Pro is the one you want. And the nice thing is, students say, how am I doing in the class? You can just open up your iPad, click their name, press another button, it automatically sends them an email with whatever information you want to tell them. So that's kind of cool. Another cool thing, I talked so much about videos. This is probably the most practical thing I'm going to tell you if you have an iPad. There's several apps out there that will make video recordings for you. One is called Explain Everything. It's a light blue icon with it looks like a film strip. And here it is. Here's your whiteboard. You can use a stylus or your finger. It doesn't matter. And literally, you press record, and now it's picking up my voice and everything that I'm writing. Right? And you can change colors. The way to do that. Isolate X, whatever you want to do here, press stop, or press record again, and then you have the choice to produce it. Let's see, trying to remember. You can export just the image. Perhaps a student says, I don't know how to do problem number 5 on page 37. You can just work it out for them, write notes to them, make sure you isolate, or, don't forget this step, and then just send them the image, which is really cool. You can also do that in Vimeo, by the way, save it as a PDF or as an image. So you can email that to them, or you can make a movie of what I just wrote. Obviously, because I pressed record, I did actually make a movie. And you can send it to your photo roll. So those of you who are Mac, you have the iPhone or an iPad, this is familiar. You can send it straight to YouTube. You can send it to your student by email. Okay, so oftentimes I'll be traveling and students will send me a homework question. I can use this. How nice.
You upload that into your website?
You can. If you save it, you can save it to Dropbox. You can save it to your photo roll. And then, and whatever you pick, it's going to compress. And by the way, that time is longer than it would be on your computer. So imagine if it took you about a minute to make the video, it'll probably take about almost 2 minutes to compress. And then you have a video that can be shared however. So it's just a question of how you want to use it. Yes, you can put it on your website. You could put it in Desire to Learn, Blackboard, all of that good stuff.
You put the link there.
You could put the actual video. You can embed the video.
Actual video.
Yes. You can send the actual video by email as well.
And what was this app called?
Explain Everything. What I would do actually, because all the time there are new apps like this coming out, Explain Everything seemed to be the one with the most features, but they all change all the time. So you might want to just do an internet search. There was a website that I found that had a chart, it has this feature, dots for all the features that they had, and this one had the most features at the time.
Like Show Me.
That's like Show Me on a Mac. Yes, it is. Only on your iPad. Yeah, I used to use Show Me.
But you can't write with it. That's pen on your iPad.
Yeah, unless you have, right, if you have a tablet on your Mac, then you can do that. And let me just show you, here's my photo roll, and the very last one is the video. By the way, I usually use my finger. I just bought this at the airport today. So,
And now it's picking up my voice.
that's my photo roll. So however you remember sending photos or movies to your friends or whatever, you do the same way here.
Generic terms.
It's screen recording or screen capture.
And it will capture you writing on the screen if you happen to also be using a pen mouse.
Correct.
And the pen mouse needs a particular kind of software. Is there a generic term for that software?
Well, there's two things. You don't need a pen mouse on an iPad. You can just use your finger. You can use a stylus.
If you're using a pen mouse.
If you're using a pen mouse, this is either called pen mouse or a tablet.
Okay, and that's the hardware.
This is the hardware, which is $100 if you buy the small one, $300 the big one.
But if you're not in Elluminate, and you're trying to capture your discussion,
Yes.
what's the name of that software?
There are many, and I'll share all of them at the next session, but the one I just use is Mimeo. And MIMIO.com, and go to downloads. And I will send you that information with the email. So did everyone put your email? Yeah, I'll give you all of this, all the information I shared and more in that email.
And for math people, the tablet is absolutely necessary. But the screen capture software, you don't have to have a pen mouse to use it. People.
Oh, that's true.
Somehow I think
Yeah.
that thing would be cool.
Yeah.
To be able to write. Yeah.
There are people who capture their PowerPoint presentations and their Excel spreadsheets. It really captures anything that's going on your screen along with your voice.
I can see
Thank
why
you.
I need it to the degree you do with formulas all the time. But there are times when being able to do arrows and
Right, to annotate, sure. You can put an image there, or you can type something ahead of time. You can underline, you can circle, highlight. Yeah, that's really, really great.
Go to a second sheet if you can.
Yes.
One problem.
Yes, you can create a whole new sheet. Absolutely.
And that's with this Explain Everything.
Yeah, Explain Everything will do that as well as Mimeo. Yeah. So, okay. Thank you. I hope I didn't overload you, but that's generally what I do. And I have to go on the other side of campus for the next presentation in 15 minutes. But I do want to show you this real quick. This is
it's one of their big class. And the different experience because half of it is done in the classroom or one day in the classroom. Or lessons done online, which is good because you can do it as you need if you can work around your schedule. So that was really good. I was just saying, I didn't write a big lot of time for this idea, but I do have a bunch of online lectures are very helpful. It takes 10, 15 minutes to go through it, and I kind of appreciate your own house. It's just listen to it and do the work. because if I didn't get something in class, I could go home and then kind of review the lecture on all my videos. It's just valuable for me.
There's a page about possibility online. Very candy.
Also, it's really nice is that these videos to watch, so that you can watch the videos and anything that you need to get it down. So I would use the lunchtime videos to counteract your videos. So I would get, if I missed something I couldn't figure out on that, I would figure it out on another video.
Definitely are. Definitely one of those things because I could stop them and watch them over and over. If I wouldn't get a certain part of it, you know, I could just watch me, so I would understand a little. Take notes on videos like this, so that if I can stop on my homework, then I can go back and see what the examples on what it's like. Just doing it over and over was what works for me better than like last year, like in the class, I would look at the videos, did the homework, and I wasn't doing very well, but going over and over again really helped me do better.
So I made that this morning. I had recorded all those interviews with my iPhone after they took their final this last couple weeks ago. So finally got those edited. But, I just closed this without exiting. Am I good? Okay, good. So, anyway, good luck. I'll send you an email, and if you have any questions, I'm so happy to help you. So, thank you.